What is up? Welcome back to the Next Guy Up podcast. We have another solo pod tonight. This is me. I am going to be going for about 3 hours. I'm doing a postmortem on Tennessee Volunteers football season, and so let's get into it. Just kidding. We have the boys with us tonight. Before everyone just clicks off because no one wants to hear that. Tins, Mason, we got the whole boys back together. Got the crew here. We had a pretty rough weekend of football for us as a podcast, to be honest. I think we went pretty much over everything.
It's not true, actually. Tennessee Tech won.
Tennessee Tech. Tennessee Tech.
Hashtag Storm.
The Mormons won. Shout out to BYU. Got some features in on those guys, so that is big. Yeah, we got a couple wins, I guess, but all of our teams lost.
Should we tell everybody the Storm Lexington or whatever our hashtag? We're boots on the ground in Lexington.
Yeah, Wings Up Lexington.
Yeah, so
Wings Up Lexington.
Mason's alma mater, Tennessee Tech. This is we all grew up. We all went to high school in Cookeville, Tennessee. That is where Tennessee Tech University is located. They are currently in the OVC, making transition to the Big South. They have had an unprecedented level of football success this season. They have a coach that is doing a great job. He's probably going to be out of here soon, if I had to guess, because he's doing way too well for Tech. Got the team cooking. They're 7-0 right now.
Correct.
Is that right? 7-0?
Yeah, 7-0.
They're in the top 10 in the FCS rankings. They are on a huge upward trajectory right now. And they have an absolute battle on their hands in a couple weeks against Kentucky. Kentucky scheduled them for their homecoming. Kentucky is a pretty bad football team, all things considered, even though they almost beat Texas yesterday.
Almost happened, yeah.
On Saturday, but they're not very good. They've had a lot of losses. Stoops, as far as I'm concerned, is already fired. I don't know when it's officially going to happen, but he's cooked. And so there's all of a sudden is a very fun matchup up in Lexington where Tennessee Tech will come up probably undefeated, and they're going to be playing Kentucky. And so we started if you're listening to this, we have started a motion. It's called Wings Up to Lexington. We're taking a group up to Lexington. We're going to storm the stadium. Whenever Tennessee Tech beats Kentucky, we're storming the field. Everybody, if you can hear this, we're rallying the troops. If you live in Middle Tennessee, if you just want to embarrass Kentucky, we're going to try and turn Lexington purple. November 15th, huge game. Hashtag Wings Up to Lexington. Everybody, start using it. We're trying to go viral a little bit. It's gonna be fun. Me and Mason are going. We got a crew together. I think there's gonna be a lot of fans going up there. It's gonna be a fun game.
I'm excited. See, it takes one simple thing. Apparently, there's this new trending thing of just a bunch of fans taking their shirts off and waving them around at football games, and now that's just
I'll do that.
A storm. So why can't this just be the new thing of Wings Up to Lexington, November 15th?
True.
Let's get it going.
Mason, you should take a ad out in the Cookeville paper.
It really it's only like $20. Let's do it.
Get some motion going.
Let's get a billboard.
Billboards aren't too much.
It's true,
just
Mason.
Start a whole movement. If only there was like an athletic director that had tons of money that could do this for me and pay the money for it. Shout out to whoever that guy is.
You think the athletic director of Tennessee Tech has tons of money and is just
someone that has more following and more money than me? I'm sure there's somebody out there. It don't take much.
Mason, you're maybe the most influential Tennessee Tech grad out there.
Anyone can take an ad out in the paper and put up a billboard. Like that doesn't take fame to put up a billboard.
True.
It's true. You know what? Let's do it. Start a movement. Wings Up to Lexington.
Wings Up to Lexington. Hashtag. We're gonna get
rebellions are built on hope. All right.
That's a fact. We're rebelling against Kentucky, the entire state. Okay. Other than that, anybody got anything interesting going on? Tins? Fun trip to London this morning?
That's a low blow. I had other things I was going to talk about.
Oh, sorry. We can wait.
Yeah, we can wait. The state of TV in America is down the drain. I see these commercials for all these TV shows that are going on, and I wonder who's watching this crap. Who in their right mind on a Tuesday night is turning on Tracker or Matlock or Elizabeth or any of these garbage Nashville 911,
the fire tornado,
going to space. They're going to space.
Sheriff Country.
Space, yeah.
Sheriff Country looks like maybe the dumbest show of all of them, which is saying
Sheriff
something.
Country.
Yeah, it's the spinoff of Fire Country. Just absurd. We need to get back to the days of good television. Lost, The Office, Zoo, Under the Dome. Like these are classics, and I'm tired of all these commercials. The commercials are terrible, and they just jam them down my face the whole time I'm watching football. And all my bets are losing in my face, and all my fantasy guys suck. And then I get the Matlock commercial for the 400th time. I don't care about Kathy Bates being Matlock, which I don't even. How is this even a show? It's a spinoff show from a show from the 70s, and from what I understand, it's someone being a fake lawyer who pops up one day and decides and just tells everyone, "Oh, my last name's this, and I'm a lawyer." I'm sorry, there should be some credentials to practice law in a courtroom. I don't think that's very realistic.
What's a fact, dude? I like that. Tear apart the whole.
I can't just walk into a courtroom and say, "I'm a lawyer. Give me $1,000." Like, this is not how this works.
You could. You'd probably be arrested.
Exactly, but not Kathy Bates.
You know what makes all of this even worse? We're getting into the holiday season. You're going to be seeing the Hallmark commercials, even like on the like I've seen them on when I'm watching football, and they'll be advertising this holiday Christmas movie that's been remade 500 times. They're just wearing a different flannel with different actors and actresses.
But I expect those to be bad. You know, I expect a Hallmark movie to be bad. I'm tired.
You're just going to see the advertisement now.
Yeah, I'm just tired of CBS pumping out terrible shows.
He said Under the Dome with a straight face.
Back in my day, TV meant something.
Under the Dome is pretty solid. I rewatched it recently. What are you talking about?
Yeah, Mason.
We've been trying to watch Survivor, and I've not been able to get into this season. I'm just pushing through because season
4,000 twists and 4,000 immunity items on every episode. So I'm out on Survivor too.
I saw a video. It was a guy that did a remake, and it was like the old ones, and it was like he was just like, if I can build trust with this person, maybe they can't vote me out. And then it was like the new ones, and it's like, and if I use my 5 tokens, I can switch it in for and it's like, and it's just all this absurd, like, or I could use my reflect idol where I reflect this person's eye. Like, it was just all this like made up stuff, and it was like, you know what, that's kind of what they do now because they create all these twists.
It's too much.
But season 50, they're bringing back like a ton of people throughout the whole thing, so that's why I'm pushing through. And he's like,
The thing that I'm always the TV my TV take is the like singing shows have just become out of hand.
Too many.
There's like I feel like there's like 7 or 8 different ones. I mean, there's the whole like with the mask, like the Masked Singer, and then
Masked Singer.
I know that Dancing with the Stars is pretty popular. There's just too many variations of the like that type of reality show where it's like there's 10 minutes of actual stuff happening and then 50 minutes of just like
backstories and America's Got Talent.
I don't understand who's watching. Like, genuinely, my question is, someone has to be watching those for them to stay on the air, like to keep making it. But what's the demographic that's watching all of those shows?
Who's watching Dancing with the Stars? Because my wife watches it, and
your wife is.
They like do the breakdown like after they do the dances, and it's like these 3 judges giving them like critiques on the dance. I'm like, no normal person knows what they're talking about like how this dance is supposed to be done because no one's a professional dancer. She watches it. Mason does ballet. Blah blah. Who cares? That's why they like to watch it. But
Who cares?
who cares about dance?
Yeah, I mean, I know that one is pretty popular. It's the off-brand. I feel like there's like 12 different The Voices now. I can't keep track of the season, and American Idol is like way off the deep end. It's just like a tragedy now.
Have you seen this? I would say, have you seen this new one that Keith Urban's doing with Blake Shelton? And it's called On the Road, and it's these 12 singers trying to see if they can make it on tour life of being a country singer on the road. Huh. What are we talking about? What is happening? Who's going to see these people no one's heard of before on a concert?
That's a good question.
I'm done with fake reality TV.
What if we merged a couple of what if we merged the food truck race with like a singing thing as well, like and dancing, and it became like all in one. So it was like you had to have a food truck, but every food truck had to have a singer and a dancer and like another talent, and then you
were on the island of Fiji doing Survivor.
Trademark this real quick because they're gonna steal.
Like,
this.
What if we just put all of them together and then it's like
make one
show on wheel?
What if we put food trucks in Hawaii where you also had to live off the land and you had to sell food while
you made the singers like cook the food, and then you made the cooks have to like perform the talent, and you switch all the roles. Could be fun
while living on Fiji.
There's something there.
Doing competitions
at CBS showrunners who are definitely out of ideas.
That's new, at least.
We forgot Amazing Race. That's also
I haven't made a new one of that in a while. I feel like
they probably have. You've just not been watching
it. Probably
they pump all those out. I've never seen Challengers. We've been watching Special Forces. I'm trying to think of what else. Big Brother's been going on forever.
Someone tell me what I've never understood Big Brother. It's just Survivor, but in a house.
Then basically,
that's pretty dumb.
It's a fact.
Well, we started out with not sports this time, so congrats to us.
Yeah, we did it, guys. I think we're all avoiding talking about sports because we had a pretty bad weekend all around. There was some sports happen, though.
Yeah, some sports happened. Maybe some important stuff.
Some NFL games. Some college happened yesterday. Some teams won and lost, including some of our teams, and so we're here to break it down for you. We're going to put on a brave face. We have some categories to bring your way because whether we like it or not, the weekend needs to be. We need the news. I was telling the guys before we started recording, I was like, without your NFL analysis, man, it was tough for me to watch some football today because I didn't know who to watch. You know, I didn't have my NFL experts breaking the game down. We all had kind of a crazy week last week, and it just didn't happen. Tins has been driving, and he's been getting back late, and so our schedule has been wild.
Back on the
so we apologize for not having our preview available.
If I did another solo pod, it would have broke the internet. So
yeah, I think we would have 0 listeners left at that point. So no, it was me. I was the one that said Mason did a great job. I was the one who said I don't think the world's ready for 2 solo pods in a row, and so I did not feel like doing that. So here we are with our review. We're back. The boys are back, and we have some categories to get to. You guys ready?
Born ready.
Okay. As ready as I'll ever be, I guess.
Wow, Mason, that's really good. I think I can tell you're really excited to talk about football.
We got this. We can do it.
Okay, Mason, we're starting with you. Game of the week.
Game of the week. I actually told the guys I felt like the afternoon slate was more entertaining than the for Tinsley, the morning slate, of course, and then the noon slate. I thought there's more comebacks, which we kind of talked about, some closer games. I'm going to pick, just because I know we have other games that we'll end up covering, so I'm going to go with the Packers and the Cardinals. For my solo pod, I talked about Jacoby Brissett and how it could actually be interesting if he is performing to a level where could Kyler Murray lose his job. They still lost the game 27-23. However, he ended up putting up almost 300 yards passing, 279. He looked very good. There was moments. I mean, he took quite a bit of beating. Like he took, I think it's 6 sacks. Woo. And he ended up throwing 2 touchdowns. Ended up being close in the end. That fourth quarter, it was coming down to it, but they ended up, field goals all over the place. Oh, Trey McBride had, I think it was 2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns, yeah.
Yeah, and then you were going into the Cardinals actually took a lead 23-20 in the fourth quarter, and then they just got down to the end zone, and Josh Jacobs punched it in for a 1 yard to take the lead, and they never got it back with 150 left, or they couldn't make it work with 150 left. So I'm going to go with the Cardinals and the Packers there.
Wow. All right. I kind of thought we were about to double up there and get another point for the categories because I went with Broncos Giants. This game was insane. The Giants at one point were up 19-0. And then the Broncos did this thing they've been doing a lot this year where they just go crazy in the fourth quarter. Bo Nix goes nuts. And so they scored, I believe it was like 23 straight points in the fourth quarter to take the lead. And then with less than a minute left, Jackson Dart leads them down the field, scores a touchdown, but they missed the extra point to go up by 2. So it's 32-30. The new kickoff rule is showing itself to be more interesting each week because teams are now on average starting at 35, but but you're getting better chances at returns. And the Broncos busted a pretty good return, did 2 quick pass plays, and then set themselves up for a game-winning field goal. So it's making the end of games like this where, like, if you're not up by more than 3, that chance of losing by a walk-off field goal is still it's there every week. So that was a crazy ending to that game. The Giants, I feel bad for the Giants because their kicker got hurt a few weeks ago in warm-ups, and they've just not been able to find anybody to replace him. The kicker who kicked today missed 2 extra points. That's the difference in the game. They lost by. So, but Jackson Dart is electric.
Fun to watch.
I really like watching him. I'm not big. I was never like a big Cam Scatteraboo guy. I don't know that he's going to last in the NFL for a super long time. Just the way he plays,
his play style,
he is. He's entertaining to watch, and the Giants, they've turned it around. So, and that's I like Brian Daboll as a coach, and I think they're going to do just enough to be able to keep him there. So that was my game of the week. There was a very fun back and forth, and then the end of the game was just nuts.
And real quick, Zach, before you start, since we're talking about this game, my surprise of the week was the fourth quarter of this game.
Wild.
So it was 19-0. The Giants were up. I want to just throw out this play sequence here of what ended up happening after that. Fourth quarter, touchdown by the Broncos. They went for a 2-point conversion, got it. So it was 19-8. And then touchdown by the Giants. Theo Johnson, 41-yard pass. That was an insane pass catch, by the way. 26-8. So you're still thinking it's over. And then here's where that Tinsley stretch he was talking about. Broncos touchdown, Broncos touchdown, Broncos touchdown. Now we're looking, and then Jackson Dart had a rush. It was 32-30, and then what he just talked about, Broncos came down the field after that kickoff return to kick a field goal to win the game. So insane, literally talking about a snooze fest 19-0 to a 33-32
That's
game
crazy.
going into the fourth quarter to end the game. So that was my surprise of the week. Since we were talking about it, I just wanted to skip ahead. But Zach, go ahead and what was your game of the week?
My game of the week was coming from the SEC. Ole Miss at Georgia ended up in a fun game. This actually was a back and forth matchup. Ole Miss looked very good for a lot of this game. Georgia kind of did the same thing they did to Tennessee, honestly, where they just waited for it just took 1 or 2 little mistakes, and they just kind of jump on it after a pretty slow start. Georgia's defense looking pretty bad, but their offense looking pretty good. Gunnar Stockton had 4 touchdowns, almost 300 yards passing. Trinidad Chambliss didn't have a bad day. I mean, he had 260 yards passing. He had a touchdown, no interceptions. He had a fumble. It was a pretty fun game. Ole Miss seems like a legitimate team, and a legitimate threat to play in the SEC. Unfortunately, until Lane Kiffin goes to Florida and takes over there, which is what people are saying. His name has been hot in the rumor mill to take Billy Napier's job at Florida, which I guess I don't have a spot to talk about that, but
Yeah.
how many coaches have been fired after a win?
Yeah, that was really
The list
weird.
cannot be long. Yeah.
It was really weird. Even the post-game press conference, the reporter asked him, like, are you, like, thinking about how this might be your last game as Florida's head coach? It's like, why now? Like, why right now?
Yeah, it's something with the donors, and from what I've gathered, there was a meeting with a bunch of the boosters last week, and it was kind of just agreed upon this is going to happen, win or lose. I'm not sure if it has to do with something with the transfer portal window. I know once your head coach is fired midseason, there's like a 30-day window. I don't know what's going to happen to that Florida team if it's just going to get blown up. I mean, there's obviously a lot of talent there. They're a very talented team. DJ Lagway is going to be a hot ticket in the portal. I don't know if this was. It's very hard. I don't know. There's a lot of big names. I mean, that Florida job is a big job. I think there's a chance that there's a couple of big openings that obviously Penn State's open now as well. So that's 2 high caliber coaching positions open mid-season. I think Florida State could jump in that conversation as well, potentially, if they keep losing.
LSU, I've heard Brian Kelly.
He's on a short leash right now. He loses one more, and that conversation is going to get interesting.
He's a hot name for Penn State.
Brian Kelly is?
Yeah. I would love that.
Yeah, that's not a good hire. But obviously Kurt Cignetti got a huge contract extension because it was pretty obvious Indiana was concerned he was going to go to Penn State. So they locked him down in an irresponsibly large contract that they are sure to regret at some point, but they have him for now. So it's going to be a wild coaching search. This is not really part of my analysis. I just felt like I needed to talk about it. I guess I started with Lane Kiffin is going to go to Florida probably.
Yeah.
But Lane Kiffin nearly gets the win in Georgia. Georgia guts it out though, and all of a sudden the top of the SEC is looking very interesting. Texas A&M, the only SEC team that is still undefeated.
Yeah. I asked AI coaches that's been fired after a win. You can just don't take their betting advice, but this should be fine, hopefully. Okay. Billy Napier, obviously, you just talked about, and then Jimbo Fisher was fired from Texas A&M November 12, 2023 after a win.
Wow. That's weird.
But that's all that's on there.
Yeah, that decision has been made. I know there was... I don't know. There was some talk about it's obviously for a reason, and I don't quite know what it is. The timing felt intentional, though.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, they had a good win. Team fought for them. That's their season feels over now, though. I can't imagine that team staying together.
Yeah, I'd imagine transfer portal it will become a big thing for them. Like a lot of those guys are just going to bounce.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. Interesting.
We'll see what happens.
Okay. Fun game, though. Felt like it had some big implications.
Yeah, I had to listen to this one. I took Macy to a card show in Nashville. It was a huge card show. So I missed the morning slate of ball. And then I got home at like 4:30, 5 o'clock. So I had to listen to this one on the old ride back.
It was fun. The first half was like it was points every possession almost. It was just back and forth, and it was crazy.
A lot of bad beats on overs this weekend. USC, Notre Dame, and Bama, UT. Both.
Tennessee,
Very
yeah.
into that one. I did not
Dave
bet that.
Portnoy was freaking out about that one.
Yeah, I had the over in both those games.
Ooh,
Tough.
Tough.
Okay. Mason, performance of the week.
I am going to go with the Browns defense had a touchdown, 3 interceptions, fumble recovery, and only allowed 6 points to the dreadful Dolphins.
It's over.
I feel like now they're finally clicking. I don't give hopes of them winning the division or anything, but that defense, I saw highlights, and yes, it's the Dolphins looking bad, and we do have that ticket on the fewest wins. How does McDaniels get past this week? Does anybody know? Do we want to make predictions on a firing? Does he make it?
My only reservation about him, I don't know that there's a single person on his staff that is even experienced, like has the experience to take over. Like with the Titans firing Callahan, McCoy was a former head coach. Like McDaniel's defensive coordinator is pretty like I don't think he's had any kind of head coaching experience like that. I don't know who it would just be bad. I think, and their owner's so cheap. I don't think he likes the idea of paying somebody to not work.
Just have them push through.
Yeah, but I mean, you cannot be dressed like McDaniels and talk the way he does and act the way he does, and keep getting absolutely destroyed. Like,
guess who?
I don't know, man.
Guess who played at the end of that game?
Quentin Ewers got in because Tua's terrible too.
So I don't think there's anything that's going to happen.
I want to know where.
I don't know if he'll start, but go ahead.
Who's Tua going to play with next year? It's over. It's like the whole thing is just over. Like the whole thing. Him and Kyler Murray are my 2 quarterbacks that are going to be on the move this summer. I don't think they're going to stay where they're at.
Possibly. But for that game, basically Judkins and the defense just carried the team.
Yeah.
If they actually did have Dylan Gabriel did, he was 13 for 18, 116 yards.
The weather was terrible.
Yeah, weather was bad. But still, even if I don't know how much he would actually be doing out there. But anyways, they got a running back and defense.
Yeah, I don't think Gabriel's a long-term answer. Their defense is amazing. Judkins is probably going to be like one of these next stud running backs. Sampson's right behind him too. Like that's an awesome 1-2 punch. They got 2 really good tight ends. They're a quarterback and some receivers away from being like a legitimate team, but this is the Browns. Like, what are they actually going to figure it out? Probably not.
Still a fun team though. All right, that was my performance of the week.
All right. My performance of the week was 1, Matthew Stafford breaking a NFL overseas game record with 5 touchdown passes today.
It's very brave of you, James.
Yeah. So
listen, he calls it how he sees it. I mean,
call it like I see it. His best receiver, Puka Nacua, is out today. It didn't matter. We're throwing to guys that had 1 catch in their career coming into the game. 2 of those guys, type of players, caught touchdowns today. Absolutely dominated the Jags, who just, they went over on Monday night and were supposedly to get ready for the time change. And the Rams flew in Saturday night really late. Everyone was worried about them being jet lagged. And, it didn't matter at all. The Rams, Cohen comes from McVay, and the Rams today are what the Jags hope to be. But we have to stop with every daggum series being a penalty or, a big play happens, but it gets called back because someone's false started or illegal formation or we're just holding or we're just stupid and we drop the ball. or Trevor does a spin to nowhere and gets sacked. Like, we just got to stop all these just idiotic things and just play normal human being football. And I think we could be a good football team. But shout out to Matthew Stafford. You absolutely diced us up today. Devontae Adams, the last 2 times he's played the Jags has just been a nightmare. I think he's scored like 4 he scored 3 today. I know he scored 2 last year with the Jets. So yeah, he's a problem of mine. But yeah, so shout out Matthew Stafford. Proud of you, man.
Before my performance of the week, I do have a question for the NFL ball knowers on the pod. This is not about the Jags. It's about the Titans. Has there ever been a trio of teams as bad as Titans, Dolphins, and Jets are this season? Like, is this like a historically bad, like, bottom of the league right now?
I'm trying to think. I bet you if you gave me some time, I could come up with a group. But right now,
the year the Jags picked first overall to get Trevor, them and the Jets were, because the Jags won 1 game, and I think the Jets won 2. But yeah, no, this is
the Jets gonna win a game. Titans are not winning another game out. I think Titans are done.
I don't think the Dolphins win another game.
That's the like.
What do all 3 of them combined have 2 wins? Yeah, that might be a pretty tough trio.
I guess, do they even play each other? Boy, that's
I'm looking right now.
I don't think so. Well, the Jets and Dolphins do.
But guess who's going to win a game? The Saints. They're frisky enough to win a game. We don't have to put them in that conversation.
Yeah, the Saints were supposed to be like worst team in the league, but they're like Rattlers played so well that you don't even, like, they have a 2nd round draft pick as the backup quarterback. He was supposed to be like the projected starter, and Rattler's just taking that job and he's not letting it go. And he's playing well. I don't know if he's like a long-term option at quarterback. I don't think so, but he's serviceable.
We can have this discussion later. Maybe we can do some research. But it just feels like there's a couple teams that are, boy, they're just like horrible.
Yeah,
the Titans are unwatchable.
So they're pretty bad. The Jets play terrible. The Ravens, obviously the Dolphins because they're in the division, and the Saints are like the bad ones on their schedule.
Well, the Ravens are about to turn it up with Lamar back. Yeah. They're about to just come.
I guess I shouldn't have said bad, but they were the only ones that those were the 3 teams that had only one win on their schedule.
I think too with the Jets, they're going to switch to Tyrod Taylor now going forward, and he gives them more of a chance.
Backup
to
bump.
He's just he's just solid. He can throw a forward pass. It's pretty important. Justin Fields struggles with that.
So is Cam Ward. He did throw it backwards for an interception. Yep. Okay, I just wanted to mention that they have no place in our categories this week, so I don't think they're a fraud. I think everyone knew they were bad. It's just so. Okay, my performance of the week. I'm also. This is not a fun category for me. I'm going with Diego Pavia from Vanderbilt. Defied the odds and led Vanderbilt Commodores to a big win against the LSU Tigers. This was this is one of those games where as you're watching, you're just kind of watching Diego Pavia just do whatever it takes to kind of will his team to a win. And if it wasn't Vanderbilt, it would be fun to watch, I think. I'm sure some of the country enjoys watching it. I don't. But you have to give credit where credit's due. They played a good game and beat an LSU team that a lot of people thought had playoff, maybe still do have playoff. I don't know. LSU team that has been on and off this season, but Pavia looked good. He 14 for 22 for 160 yards and a touchdown, but he also had 86 yards on the ground and 2 more touchdowns. So he accounted for 3 touchdowns total. Honestly, Pavia and Haynes King kind of putting up some similar stat lines, leading their teams to some very good records at this point. Both of those guys kind of play a similar brand of football, which is just literally just do whatever it takes to win. Doesn't matter. Run the ball, pass the ball, whatever. So, good performance, and I did not think they could do it, but here they are. We have a 6-1, probably top 12 type Vanderbilt team out there, which is not great. I don't like that. Here we are.
Yeah, we need that Vandy coach to go take one of these. Well, I guess one of the Big Ten jobs. We don't want it
like during the season, so we don't have to play them.
The last Vanderbilt coach with a little bit of success went to play for a little school called Penn State, and he just
try it again. Let's run it back one more time.
What could go wrong? Okay, Mason, surprise of the week.
Oh, I did the fourth quarter of the Broncos-Giants game since we were already talking about it.
Surprise.
Yeah.
Tens.
All right. Mine is a stat. It's kind of an amazing stat. I knew things were bad, but I didn't think they were this bad. Since 2023, when the Titans fired Mike Vrabel, they've won 4 games. Mike Vrabel, as the head coach of the Patriots, has now won 5 games. That's pretty surprising.
Not great.
In a season and a half. Or no, more than that. He's already passed him in wins since he got fired.
We were smack talking a little bit this morning, and Tinsley was like, I hope Vrabel puts up 50 points. He did not. But also, our team lost by less points than his team did. His team got blown out more than we did in London. So that's something there.
That's
they're both losses.
One of our teams has 1 win on the season and has fired their head coach after running the best head coach of their whole history out for no good reason.
That's not true.
We can't
Mike
feel
Vrabel's
pain.
not the best coach of your whole season, of your whole franchise.
No.
You would take Jeff Fisher over Mike Vrabel.
Took us to a Super Bowl.
Yes,
Braves didn't do that.
Jeff Fisher erasure is crazy. That's crazy.
Jeff Fisher is the king of 8-8.
Got us to
playoffs.
I'd take that right now.
He was an Eddie George and Steve McNair merchant.
That's fine.
Oh my gosh.
Belichick was a Tom Brady merchant, but look where it got him.
That's true.
To North Carolina with a 24-year-old girlfriend.
That's true. Yeah, not great.
But yeah, so that was my surprise of the week, that Vrabel is caught up and passed the Titans in wins since they fired him.
Yeah, I mean, I checked.
You think you can get under her skin? The triple tank is still intact.
A triple tank means you're already giving up on Cam. That you would.
I never said that. We
That's
can
what
still
a triple
build around
tank involves is a new quarterback.
Show me the rule book on that one.
Tank for Tua. That's the whole point of tanking. The whole idea of tanking started with him.
People do forget. I know this whole thing with Vrabel has kind of, obviously it was a bad fire, but I mean his last season they went 6-11.
It's true,
and they were 7-10 in 2022. So I mean he was 13-20 and 21 in his last 2 seasons. It's not like he was. I mean, obviously it was, looking back now with Callahan and that whole thing. It was very bad, and there were other problems in that organization. Mike Vrabel was not the biggest piece of the problem, but revisionist history says Vrabel was just destroying people, and he just got fired for no reason. Not acting like he went 6-11 is not a good season.
No, you're right, but I don't know. I wouldn't have fired him. I would have
definitely not with Callahan being the other option. Okay. Surprise of the week. This was kind of how this game ended, but it ended up being a pretty big upset. This is we didn't get to do any best of the rest talk this week, so here's your best of the rest talk. Memphis goes down to UAB in one of the just most chaotic endings to a game that you're going to see. Memphis down a touchdown, breaks off a huge play. Looks like they're about to tie the game with about a minute left. Gets called back to the 1 yard line. They run a play, don't get a touchdown. They get a false start, goes back to the 6. All of a sudden, they end up with like a 4th and 10 after just some atrocious play from that team. And they end up taking the loss. So this was a team that had the best chance, I think the best chance to make the playoff, all of a sudden taking a loss there. And so we got some interesting stuff happening. The FCS, I think USF now probably is number 1, but they have a matchup with Memphis coming up. So South Florida Memphis matchup is looking crazy coming up soon.
This is how we roll on the podcast here. We're experiencing some technical difficulties. Thank you, Zach, for your computer exploding on the podcast. So we're just going to move along here, right?
Host. Yeah. So I thought it was me because I also froze. But yeah, no, he was talking about that Memphis game. Truly a crazy ending. Memphis kind of burning up their season, losing to a fellow American Conference team. They're ranked, they're undefeated, and then absolutely just absolutely chaos losing that game to a team in UAB who had fired their coach earlier that week. Just crazy. I don't understand college football, man. It is just pure chaos every weekend. Once you start thinking so fun to watch. Know something is like a certain thing, that thing is not going to happen. All right. Let's see. So that was our surprises surprise of the week.
Surprise of the week.
Fraud of the week. Some fraudulent behavior. Who are they? Other than my favorite team, because they're frauds right now.
Is that your vote, or you got another one?
I have I have someone else to yell about.
Okay, I'll start us off then. How the Turns have tabled once an MVP selection by yours truly before the game or before the season started. Now is a fraud. That is one Geno Smith didn't put up a single point against the Chiefs. Got benched for Kenny Pickett. Truly an awful performance.
Kenny Pickett fumble the snap on his very first play.
Yes. Yeah. The whole and then they're literally just wasting away Ashton Genty's talent. It just seems like, but that is my fraud of the week.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. The Raiders, I feel like Pete Carroll took this job, but it might be one of those times where it was like, ooh, maybe the game did pass him by and the Seahawks let him go for a reason.
Yeah.
I feel like he might be a one and done. I don't know. I don't know if the Raiders would do that back-to-back years because Antonio Pierce was a one and done. So probably not, but I don't know, man. The Raiders are such a weird team because they have playmakers. Like I know Brock Bowers has been hurt, but Michael Mayer is a very good player. Jacoby Myers he was a healthy scratch today. I feel like that's because he's going to get traded. I really need him to be traded to my team. That would be great because I need a receiver who isn't scared of catching the ball around people, because he's going to get hit. That's part of football. All my receivers want to play flag football, apparently. So, yeah, I don't know. The Raiders are just a weird team. Geno Smith really – he kind of fell back off the cliff. He's turned back in the Jets, Geno, this season.
Yep.
The haters are writing him again, and he might have to write back. Like it might be done. All right, my fraud of the week are the San Diego or no? Oh, sorry, not San Diego. The Los Angeles Chargers. First of all, you guys are frauds for sharing a stadium. You should have never left San Diego, a city that loved you, packed out your stadium every game, and now
there's like more. Away
the other team
fans there.
Every time.
Yes.
You have no home field
the fans, and
there.
I was like, wow, there's more. Yeah, go ahead. But Tell us the bets and what happened there.
Yeah, so that's fraud step number 1. You have no fans in your stands ever. Fraud step number 2 is you let Danny Dimes and the Colts, who they're not good. I don't care. I don't care if they're 6-1. I don't care if they're scoring a lot of points. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. They're not good. They are just, I don't know what they are, but they're not good. I'm not going to believe they're good either, but Jonathan Taylor is good and Tyler Warren is good and Danny Dimes just doesn't make mistakes. That's what they are. So they're not elite. They shouldn't be 6-1. The Broncos should have beat them. That was a baloney leverage call on the game-winning field goal. You can't call that in that situation.
It's true.
They probably should have lost some other games, but the Chargers, you cannot lose at home to a team like this. You just can't. They had 3 starters in the secondary missing today. Kenny Moore, Chardarius Ward, and another corner were out. So their top 2 corners and their slot corner were all out. And Justin Herbert threw for 400 career high, 420-something yards. Still lost the game. They put a little comeback at the end, tried to make it interesting, but I'm so over this Chargers team. They're frauds. They're not good. And that they started out 3-0 and they should be dominating the division, and they're not. And now we're gonna have to deal with the Chiefs. The Chiefs are back. The Chiefs are all the way back.
All the way.
It's annoying. The Chiefs are gonna win the Super Bowl.
All right.
I'm gonna hate every second of it too. Because I cashed out my bet because I was sick and tired.
No.
I was sick and tired of the Chiefs, and I just I don't want to live in a world where the Chiefs win the Super Bowl this year. I want to go to a different multiverse.
Team. Oh, there it is. Marvel.
One where Miles Jack was never down and Patrick Mahomes got drafted to the Bears instead of the Chiefs because the Bears would have ruined him. That's what I want.
Okay, so Zach is back and he's got his fraud of the week. Perfect timing. And it is one. Drum roll, please.
Yeah, my fraud of the week is Carson Beck. Miami quarterback. This Miami team has looked very good all season. They've been hyped up as kind of the cream of the crop. They had no ranked games left on their schedule. Everyone kind of saw them dancing into the playoffs in a ACC that all of a sudden looked pretty doable, and they lose to Louisville. Carson Beck does not play very well.
Just like last year.
He just collapsed in the biggest moments. He looked flustered. He didn't make the plays they needed at the end of the game. He is exactly who Tins thought he was. So that was, maybe I'm the fraud. I was big on Carson Beck. He let me down, but I am glad Miami lost. I think that's very funny. So here we are once again. ACC dropping games to lesser opponents. So everybody's just kind of beating each other. So fun stuff.
Clemson lost the game too, so that was weird because they were they had a out of conference loss, so you feel like maybe Clemson could get back into it.
Yeah, they're done.
ACC. Yeah, they're cooked now.
Yeah,
something about Louisville.
The ACC Miami is Virginia is all of a sudden looking pretty spicy in the ACC race. Yeah, there's some teams that are not traditional powerhouses all of a sudden, with Florida State being pretty bad, Clemson being pretty bad, Miami taking a loss. All of a sudden, there is some space and Georgia Tech is like right now, Georgia Tech, Virginia, and Miami are at the top of the ACC. So, interesting stuff happening over there.
Might be time for a little Georgia Tech conference winner future.
Georgia Tech, Georgia, shaping up to be a humongous game later this season.
So. Georgia Tech plus 220 to win the ACC.
Pretty good. What are Miami's chances right now?
280.
Plus 280?
Mm-hmm.
Who else is
up second? Virginia at plus 450, Louisville 550, SMU at 750. I'm not seeing North Carolina. I don't know what's going on. Duke at
Must
plus
be a mistake.
1,300. Clemson not on the board.
Sheesh.
The last team it has on here is NC State at 25,000, but no Clemson.
That's not good. Yeah, that's pretty bad there for Clemson, who was preseason top 5 and projected to be a favorite to win the national championship. Okay, boys, we got anything else on your minds, hearts?
No,
Wings up to
clear
Lexington.
eyes.
Wings
Clear
up to
eyes, full
Lexington.
hearts.
Can't lose.
Can't lose. Except we did all over the weekend, everywhere.
Losses everywhere.
Battlefield of losses.
Well, we have another fun week ahead of us, so we will be back with you to preview the action for next week. We're over the halfway point in the college, and NFL is what, week 7 coming up?
Yep. So only 10 more.
Only 10 more Titans losses we have to sit through. Shout out to us. And with that, we will see you next time. Hope you guys have a great week. See ya.